lecturer stood in front of the entire lecture theatre in front of about 300 people, and she was like, the only black people you'll find at the BBC are the cleaners and the janitors. Hand on my heart.
And hi everyone, I hope you're all doing well. Today I'm going to be vlogging all day because I have a huge event that I organised and I advertised on my Instagram. So if you're not following me, you should be following me because you could have got tickets. It was totally free. It's actually in the House of Commons. I've been given the privilege to host my event at the Palace of Westminster. And I'm so happy, and I'm just so honoured and so lucky to be able to host my first event at the most prestigious building in the UK, if not the world. This event is called Academia and Beyond. I invited 4 other women who I think are doing amazingly in their career and also in their extracurricular life. They're succeeding in every single aspect, and I just wanted them to inspire others and show others how they can have a very healthy balance of the two worlds. And so I've invited 4 speakers who you will see. I haven't said who they are yet, so everyone's just booked tickets because they believe in me, which I love so much. Thank you all so much for the support. It was amazing. Like, tickets sold out. They were all totally free, but no one paid a penny for them. They were free completely, but they sold out in about 10-15 minutes, and I have a flood in my DMs of messages asking for more tickets, and I'm so sorry, but I didn't anticipate how popular it would be, and so I booked the smallest room. But definitely next time, if all goes well tonight, I will book a bigger room and I'll have an event sometime, possibly by the end of the year if there is availability, because I've had this space booked for about 6 months now. So hopefully if there is availability, I'll try to do something just before the new year. Can't wait. I'm kind of the host and I'm speaking a little bit myself as well, so I'm really excited and quite nervous. I'm not a stranger to public speaking. I've spoken so much in the past, especially in you know, in the lab. Being a researcher, you have to do presentations and speak at conferences all the time, but this is a totally different ball game. Like, this is just so different. I'm so passionate about leveling the playing field and, you know, just showing others that and showing others representation in the different fields that they might be. So I have the other ladies, one's in academia, one's in the health, one's in academia, one's in health, one is a journalist, and the other is in the corporate world in law. So I feel like I have a nice range of people that everyone can hopefully relate to. But yeah, I'm so grateful for all the support. I know that people will message me saying they're coming from Bristol and they're coming from Manchester and they're going to get here at 1 PM. Where should they go until 6 PM? And I'm just like, what? You guys came all the way from Manchester for this event? You don't even know who's speaking? It's absolutely insane. I'm just so honoured and so blessed to have all the support. If you're not following me on social media, then please make sure you do, because that's where I announce my that's why I'm much more kind of regular and instant in my and live in my announcements. So please make sure you follow me there in the first instance if you haven't already. I was kind of debating, and I asked on Instagram what should I wear in terms of the blazer, but I went for this in the end. So this is what I'm wearing. I have wide-legged trousers. They're quite high-waisted up to here, and they're quite long. I got my auntie and my dad to sort them out for me. And then I'm wearing a white top underneath, which has a long back, and it has a long front as well, because I don't like the way that the back bit is quite visible. So I covered up there, and then I chose this blazer. So I'm wearing this kind of Baroque print blazer. I was going to wear a white blazer, but then I decided that it's too white on white on white, so I went with a Baroque print blazer, which is also new and I haven't worn before. I got these both in the Christmas Zara sale. The summer Zara sale. So like, Christmas, how long ago was that? I got them both in the Zara summer sale about 2 months ago, 3 months ago, but I just haven't worn them yet. Let me know what you guys think. A lot of you messaged me saying that you don't live in London and you live abroad and you can't make it, so please, can I post a video on YouTube? And yeah, I will. I'm going to try to get as much as I can from this event, and then I'll post it on YouTube as soon as my Ethiopia vlogs finish, which are currently being uploaded. I'll see you guys in a bit. Welcome to my first event, Academia and Beyond. Most of you may know my name is Amina, and I'm honoured to have you all here today. Before I begin, I want to first express my gratitude to Stephen Timms, my MP, who's sitting right here, who allowed me to host this event in this palace and this beautiful Jubilee room. Without for your support, I would not have been able to do this. So thank you. The past 4 years, I've been doing a PhD, as some of you may know. Most of you know that it's kind of in cancer research, but you probably don't know what exactly it is. So who's a biology student or anything? Okay, so most of you are going to be a bit lost now, but I'll try to layman it a little bit. There are 2 proteins called actin and myosin, and they're both really important in our bodies. Myosin makes up pretty much all our cells in the muscle, and actin is in every single part of us essentially. So they're really, really important. And what I was looking at is how actin and myosin bind. I've spoken at so many conferences all over the world. So I was in Canada for 3 months. I had a sponsorship and I was in Canada for 3 months. I was also in France a few times and also in Germany. So I'm not a stranger to public speaking, but I am quite nervous at the moment. And there's some sweat in my mouth. But I'm really nervous. And you're probably wondering why. Like, why are you nervous in front of 30, 40 people when you've spoken in front of 200-300 people? But it's because this is what I'm passionate about. This is what I know that I have so many people in this room who are, you know, so inspirational. I don't know all of you, but I know that all of you have something special and have kind of the dreams of becoming something important and something big within your own rights and your own careers. So it's quite an honour to be here in front of you guys and also to have my speakers. I know that I didn't tell you who was speaking. None of you knew who was speaking, and I found it so awesome that in 15-20 minutes all tickets sold out when you had no idea who I was bringing onto my panel, which says a lot about how much you guys support me, and I'm really grateful for that. I want you to listen to these speakers and to be motivated and to see how they balance the 2 sides of their lives. That's the aim of academia and beyond. And I want you to maybe go away and do something new after this. Before I invite the first speaker, I'm honoured to have Stephen Timmins, my MP, say a few words to you before the first speaker starts. So, round of applause, please.
I'm very pleased to see so many people here, and congratulate Amina on taking this initiative and getting everybody along. I think it falls to me to very briefly introduce the 3 panellists who are here. So I'm going to carefully read what I've been told. So Fatumina first, Dr. Fatumina, who's a PhD in regenerative medicine of the heart, but is also a jazz singer, business owner and model. So I won't ask what she does in her spare time. Then next to her is Asha Hussain, who's a journalist with the BBC, now particularly with the Evening Standard, and a blogger as well. And next to her is Dr. Sadiyah Ahmed, who is a dentist and personal trainer. So as Amina says, these are people who are doing a great deal. And we're looking forward as well to being joined by Raifa, who's a trainee lawyer and the creator of an award-winning podcast called Mostly Lit.
And then I wanted a PhD that very much focused on like heart regeneration and stem cells and so on. And so I'm going to go into this a bit later into how I got into it. But a lot of people will look at my CV and then they will be like, oh, you know, she sort of had it easy. I mean, she probably did her A-levels, went into engineering, and then went on to doing a PhD and blah, blah, blah. But that's not how my life was, because the expectations for me 10 years back were very, very low. So I came to the UK when I was about 15, 16. So at that time I couldn't speak a word of English. Like literally the only thing that I knew was how do you do. And at the time my mum passed away, so I became the main carer for my siblings. I had family support, but then I was responsible. I was that person that my siblings had to look up to, and it was 3 of them. And at the same time, I had no qualifications whatsoever. English wasn't my first language. Every time I went to apply for colleges, so I was in central London, so I wanted to apply for, I don't know, seat in Islington or Westminster Kingsway College or anything. I just got rejection after rejection, and most of the things were like, you can't speak the language, there's no way you're going to do this. And actually the very first person that said this was the person who became my physics teacher. She said, there's no way you're ever going to get to this point, so forget about it, go to ESOL. So ESOL is English for Speakers of Other Languages. I was quite ambitious, you know, I was thinking I want to go to Oxford or UCL or any of these things. And so I didn't let that discourage me. The people around me just said, you know, Fatumina, maybe you should just settle, maybe you should just go for, you know, for something a bit lower, maybe you shouldn't be that ambitious, you know. And I was just like, no, I know I can do it. Just give me the opportunity and I will show you that I'm going to be able to do it. And I chose UCL as my first choice university. I'm not going to lie, at the back of my head I was like, oh my goodness, if this is not going to work, I'm just going to literally embarrass myself in front of everyone and they're all going to be like, you know what, I've told you so. But I was like, I don't care. You know, let me just try. And on July 2008, I was told, you know what, you passed your English, you did pretty well at it, and now you've been accepted to UCL. And that was like one of the best days of my life. People who had probably better grades than me, but they didn't decide to apply for it because they listened to what society was telling them, they listened to what their friends and their family was saying to them. And the problem with friends and family is they always want you to do the safe thing to do, and that's the problem. If you tell your family, you know what, I'm going to do this, but there's like a 60% that it's not going to work, they're not going to say yes. They will most likely say, no, don't do it, do the safe thing. And for me, it was like, no, I'm not going to do this. You know, I've already started from the bottom. And when you start from the bottom, you can't really go lower. You can just go up from there. And I'm just saying it to everyone, or to anyone who wants to apply for PhD, you have to really, really, really love what you're doing. You have to think about it carefully. When it comes to society, so when it comes to extracurricular activities, yeah, we have this tendency, and I feel like it's more like girls that have this tendency. It's like you want your friend to come with you, you want somebody to come with you. I don't know why, but it just makes you feel more comfortable. And I was like, if I'm always going to wait for my friends to be going to this society, to be going to this talk, I'm never going to get anywhere. And you know, it may be uncomfortable going to these places, but you're going to get used to it. And so I decided to do jazz, but I was like, you know what, this is not where I want to stop. I want to see whether I'm a good writer or not. So I joined the UCL Pie magazine, and I was one of the writers. And then I decided to set up my henna business because I needed to make that extra money and so on. And then I started doing all these other things. My PhD wasn't easy, and I was depicted as this person that I wasn't. I was bubbly and open, which to some people was aggressive. I had no support from my supervisor, none whatsoever. I had no training whatsoever. I had the manager in the lab who was just the most horrible person and was like, you're going to be failing your PhD, you're never going to get anywhere. And I was told all these things just because I was doing all these extracurricular things. Because in academia, people don't speak up, people tend to stay quiet. And when that happened, I'm not going to lie to you, the moment that I said to myself, I am the priority, I'm replaceable. As a PhD student, as a person who's got a job, you're replaceable, you're a number. You know, you're not a number to your family, you're not a number to your friends, but you're a number when it comes to job or other things. And that's what you need to remember. And job people or anyone, they're not going to care about your mental health. You're the only person that's going to care about their mental health.
I'm not going to lie, I messaged Amina literally 2 days ago. I was like, I have no idea why you want me to speak. First few times that I went abroad was literally school trips. I decided Spanish until I was 18. So I just went on 2 school trips to Spain, a geography trip to Wales, which made me realise actually Wales is quite beautiful, otherwise I would never have gone there. And then it was when I hit uni, it was my first year of uni, and it was the longest summer ever. That was the longest summer I ever got in like dental school. After that it was like literally 3 weeks back at uni. This was like 3 months long, and me and my cousin both had so much spare time, and I was like, oh, you know, maybe I should go travelling. I have no idea what sparked that idea, but me and my cousin were both just that type of person that would just get bored really easily. And I was scared of asking my dad. Literally like, so I had my cousin right there. I was like, Dad, like, you know, me and my cousin, we really want to go on a trip. And then my dad's like, oh, okay, yeah, to London, right? And we're like, no, that's not like what we meant. And I was just like, literally, when I say I was like shaking at the time, I was like, we're thinking like slightly further away. Do I want to travel, or do I want to buy those clothes? Or do I want to spend things on money on things that actually I don't really need, whereas I could go and travel? And I know nowadays we live in an environment where there's so much like sort of consumerism, and you should buy loads of things, you know, you should buy the best makeup product, you should buy that, you know, Zara's got a sale on it, and just like rinse that sale because, you know, I need this many like jumpsuits or whatever. I know there's that whole thing going on nowadays, but sometimes you just have to literally think, actually, you know what, I've always wanted to go to this place, how about I just save a bit of that money and then go to that place instead. There's so many careers out there where you can probably find something that will work, especially in, I feel like in the science field, in the healthcare field, there are a lot of opportunities out there, whether it's with the UN, whether it's with other organisations that I've looked at, apart from looking for doctors and dentists. They look for other people that are generally interested in going out and helping. So that's something that I feel like everyone should kind of keep an eye out for. Also, when it comes to family and boundaries, there's always going to be a boundary. Even to this day, if I go on holiday, my mum's like, do you need to? What is your need to? I'm like, Mum, I've got 4 weeks of the year, I'm not home.
I've been watching her on YouTube for many years when she decides to post, you know. For those who are subscribed to her, you know that she's Not necessarily Asha every day.
Yeah, so I'm Asha. So I'll just talk a bit about how I got into journalism, why I did it, what my career path was like. I was very, very talkative, very, very chatty. I was super annoying ever since I was a kid. Still am annoying now. And I just knew it was something that I wanted to do. It was a career that I wanted to pursue. But it was kind of like, how do I get into this? I never ever saw anyone that was black, let alone that wore a hijab, on ITV, on BBC, on anything. It was all just white people. So I just thought, how can I get into this? And then, like, even now for me, I feel like I've started to realize the power of seeing yourself in positions that you never thought you could ever see yourself in. I studied journalism with English language and linguistics. Because still I was very, very indecisive about what I wanted to do in the future and what type of journalism I wanted to get into as well. I was really sort of unsure. And whilst I was at uni, I think this was kind of like the turning point for me. This is the reason why I've become so successful and managed to get what I want. Literally in my third year, I was the only black girl in my whole lecture theatre, the only hijabi, the only one that even looked remotely different, basically. And my lecturer stood in front of the entire lecture theatre, in front of about 300 people, and she was like, the only black people you'll find at the BBC are the cleaners and the janitors. Hand on my heart. And I was like, this is a personal attack to me. I was like, is she looking at me? And from that moment on, I was just kind of like, right, well, that's got to change. And it was kind of like a chip that I had on my shoulder. So because of my dissertation, I managed to interview the head of BBC Africa. And I sort of stayed in contact with her. You know that annoying thing that you do when you have a contact, you're like, hey, this is what I've done recently, and oh my god, hi, how are you? Like literally every month or so. And she finally got sick and tired of me, and she emailed me back and she was like, hey, there's this BBC journalism scheme that we're kind of currently running for speakers of other languages. Are you interested? And on the list were Somali, Swahili, and a whole bunch of other languages I can't remember right now. But the one that I applied for was Swahili because that's the language that I speak at home. So I applied for the Swahili language scheme and I managed to get in. And I managed to meet my best friend there as well, Sadiyah and Yemen. 2,500 applicants and there were only 6 positions. And somehow I was shortlisted into the final 6, and it was only for a 1-month training scheme. So yes, it is competitive, it is hard. I was the only one that was offered a job at the end of it because I was kind of like always going around to different departments, being like, hey, I'm Asha, nice to meet you. This is what I do. Like, how can I help you? Like literally just putting myself out there and making myself memorable. And then I was offered this was during the elections, so I was kind of helping out as part of the digital team. And I found that really, really tedious and really boring. And I just thought, I need to invest more in myself. I wanted to improve my Swahili. So I went to Tanzania for 3 months and I studied Swahili Fasaha. So if you guys speak Arabic, you know that there's Arabic Fusha and then like conversation Arabic. So it's the same as Swahili. It's more formal. It's the kind of Swahili that you use to present and to broadcast. So I studied for 3 months and then I came back and I carried on working at the BBC. Because I was memorable, so that's what I did. On the other side, I am a blogger, part-time. So yes, I started off this YouTube channel, which is very similar to what Amina said, in the sense of like, there were basically no hijabis on the platform at the time that I could sort of relate to. There were no Londoners as well, which is quite weird, yeah, right? There's no Londoners. So I just thought, I was like, right, so me and my friends, we're gonna sit in the car and we're gonna just have banter, like just jokes.
I sometimes go by Ray, and I'm a trainee solicitor at a firm called Clifford Chance, which is an international law firm, has around 28 offices around the world, and it specialises in corporate commercial law. So aside, I also do this podcast, which is a literature and pop culture podcast, and it is me just chatting wreck with my friends about books, about literature, about film. And that's been going on for 2 years, 2 and a bit years. I was born in a little tiny island in the Indian Ocean called Zanzibar. I moved to London when I was 5 years old. Didn't know any English apart from toilet please, because I was taught to say that when I used to go to toilet at school. I found it a little bit hard to assimilate because I had never seen a white person till I was 5, so I moved here. I got taught how to eat. I remember spaghetti with a fork on the plane, and I was like, what is this contraption? Really good at sciences. Like, I love sciences. I'm a science girl. The arts was where like my passion was. I just loved that. I love people, I love history, I love language, I love books. But when it came to careers now, I am obviously a child from African parents, so there's only 3 careers available to us. We can only be doctors. If we're not doctors, we can be engineers. And if we're not engineers, you can't be a lawyer because lawyers lie, including my mother. So she was like, you can be an engineer, you can be a doctor, or you can be a midwife. I'm like, I don't know why the other one came. And I got an interview at King's College London, and I went to that interview and I sat with this really boring man, and he was showing me a chart of what happens to the blood when you have sugar, and I was like, this is so boring. I'm so sorry to any doctors in the room, but I was like, this is dull. I walked out and I spoke to some guy who's also interviewing, and he's like, so I'm really the new scientist. What are you reading? And I'm like, I'm reading Persuasion by Jane Austen. And he was like, what? And I was like, okay, career change. In sixth form, when I wanted to do medicine, I went onto this program called Social Mobility, and they did one of the events at my firm that I'm currently at. And I walked into my firm is quite glamorous and big and like high ceilings and people in suits. And for an East London girl, that's like, I've only seen the double 16 bus. I walked into this massive firm and I was like, I remember I told my biology teacher, Miss Abdullah, I said, Miss, I'm going to work there one day. And she's like, what's that? And I'm like, I don't know what they do, but I'm going to work there one day. And it's so interesting, when I did get my offer, Miss Abdullah actually contacted me because she found out something. She found out and she messaged me and she said, I remember the day you told me that you were going to work for this place, and I just wanted to say I'm so proud that you've done it. And literally, I was outside Leytonstone Station, I cried my eyes out.
Give it my best. Everything in through was so hard. Like, I remember my first session, I'm like, this.
We just also have a round of applause for Amina as well.
Got home from such an amazing evening of talks. In hindsight, I wish that I had put the speaker or something, or a microphone a bit closer to the speakers, so that I could at least liaise the voice with the video. But I'll see what I have and I'll see what I can post, but I definitely know that I have recorded every single bit of it, so I'll see what I can post and try to get as much as I can there for you. Something that you guys probably don't know is, if you go to the House of Parliament or the Palace of Westminster, so if you come out of the station, come out Westminster Station, you cross the road and then you take a right and the first left, you enter the Cromwell entrance. So I'll write the details down below. So if you go there to the security and you say to them, I want to watch the debates in the chambers, then they'll give you this pass and you can go through and watch the debates happening at that moment live. It really does humanize MPs, because I think we tend to think that MPs are inhuman kind of robots that works for the government, but actually they're just normal people who have pursued the route of politics. So funnily enough, also the topic of debate at the time that I entered was about education. It was high quality careers advice in education, which I sat down and I was like, they're talking about education. I was like, what were the chances of this? It was as if it was like an appetizer. It just set me up for the rest of the day. You can go in and you can listen to the debates. No phones are allowed, no bags are allowed. You have to put everything into the cloakroom. But it's totally fine. Like, you shouldn't really have that stuff there anyway. You don't want to disturb the debate while it's happening. The actual chambers itself and like the walk to the chambers is the most beautiful, most intricately detailed building that I've ever seen. I really highly recommend it, guys, even if you just go in. Apparently it's open, so I asked him, he said Monday to Thursday all day, and I think he said Friday sometimes, but I think I'm gonna wrap up there. Thank you to everyone who attended. I know that I didn't really get the chance to publicize it on other platforms like Twitter or YouTube, but Instagram is somewhere that I go to for kind of instant information and live information. So if you do want to find out when my next event is, and to not miss out on tickets, then please do follow me on Instagram so you're able to find out as soon as my next event occurs. I couldn't possibly accommodate any more people. I literally had like maybe 1 or 2 seats that were empty, but it was a full house. So thank you to everyone who came. I really do appreciate your support, and I also liked how I didn't tell you who the speakers were, and how you guys just had faith in me and traveled all the way from Birmingham and Manchester and Bristol just to see me, and because you had faith that I would bring out people that you know would inspire you. For everyone who's watched this vlog, and like I said, I really hope that the quality of the videos are good enough for me to show you as much as I can. Also, don't forget to subscribe to my channel, don't forget to like this video and leave me a comment and let me know what things you do in your spare time. I will see you in my next video. Thanks for watching. Bye.